to another podcast with Christian, Omar, and me, Caleb. In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about analysis of the new immigration laws. Alright, jumping straight into it, we're going to talk about the key changes in the new immigration laws. So, this stricter enforcement has led to the immigration process being much faster than it's usually been. This means that if anyone gets stopped by ICE or if you get a warrant to get deported, the whole process is way faster. In the past, it's been like if you get a warrant or if you get stopped by ICE, there's usually a process that takes like, I don't know, from weeks to months for you to actually get deported. But recently, that whole process has changed and it's led to people getting deported almost instantly. Do you guys have anything to say about that?
Yeah. Like I said,
Like instantly, like deported instantly. Like,
Yeah, basically instantly. Like, say they knock on your door and you come out, they find out you're illegal, they'll take you in, and by that day or by the next day in the morning, you would already be in your home country. That's almost instantly. You can't really do nothing about it.
like that could just happen to any, like any immigrant, any illegal.
Yeah, if you're here illegally and they have a warrant, they could do that. Yeah, that could happen to anybody that's here illegally. But in the past, it's been different. You could usually fight your case. Maybe you could hire a lawyer, and you wouldn't be deported as instantly. Yeah, but
yeah, that's true, and that's a good point to talk about in this time because commonly I was here when I was a child, like I born in Minnesota, 1 to maybe 5 years old, and I came back to my country, so I was in Mexico my entire life. Like,
oh, so you were born in Minnesota,
yeah,
and then you went back to Mexico.
Yeah. So I lived my entire life in Mexico, like 5 to maybe 17 years old. So at that age, 17 years old, I came back to California, but not Minnesota, because I lived with my cousin, and so I came back and I went to the high school, but I mean it was kind of hard because my parents are illegal as well,
Yeah.
so they can come in this country, you know.
Oh, so it's different because they stay in Mexico. Your parents stay in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were here like maybe 20 years, but they came back just because, just like that, no deportation, nothing.
Oh, they decided to.
Yeah, to move
Okay.
in Mexico again, and so I came back to this country, and so I constantly go to Mexico to visit my parents, and the last 2 years when I went to Mexico like maybe 2024, and it was more easy to go to Mexico. Nothing happened, everything is good. Just let me see your passport, okay, you're ready to go, and that's it. But this time I went to Mexico like a month ago, just to visit my parents. You know, eat tacos, tortas over there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's different from here. You know,
Yeah.
and it was more hard because when I was in Oakland, in the airport Oakland, I was coming back, and they were asking me questions like what is your ethnicity, where are you from, where are you from, or do you have paper, are you illegal?
So you feel like in the airport, the ambient was more like hostile. Like they wanted to know exactly who you were.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Yeah.
Why were you traveling?
Yeah, every person.
It
Even-
doesn't matter how
it
they
doesn't
look
matter.
like. Nothing.
It look like if look like white or black or Mexican or brown, it doesn't matter. They asking questions like that does not make sense, you know. Just like let me see your ID, or if you like more like kind of illegal, they just like, oh, come here, I'm gonna talk to you, and this time it was more difficult for me.
Did that make it like more uncomfortable for you?
Not really, but I mean, it's inside of me. It's more like
Like why?
Well, like what
It's
the heck?
unnecessary.
Yeah. In my mind, like, what the
Mm.
heck? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, and that's why I came to the another podcast. You know, you remember the first
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So it was hard. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why. Well, now I'm here. You know, but yeah, now yeah, that's a little bit about that time. But yeah.
And when you were traveling, did you see like any ICE agents walking around the airport?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
'Cause-
You was just seeing around what happened,
Mhm.
which one is the correct. You know, I'm gonna, you know,
Because I went on a trip to Florida in December, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And in the airport, I didn't see nothing. Like I didn't see no ICE agents. I didn't see nothing. Like the whole process was smooth. There was no questioning. But like a month after that, I heard people that were like also traveling, like some of my friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the airports are like packed. You kind of see the ICE agents everywhere now." And I'm like, "What? How did something change so drastically fast?" Which I find it surprising, but I mean, it's been like that now. And
Yeah.
I
unfortunately.
mean, I just think it should be easier to get access to like a visa or like a green card, whatever you need to stay in living in your house that you already have.
Yeah, I
as an
actually agree
immigrant.
with that because, I mean, there's a lot of factors that play into that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of background checks, a lot of, well, the government obviously has to see like what type of person you are and what are you doing here, what do you want to do, what do you want to be here for. But I feel like the whole process for you to like get your green card or visa and like stay here legally, I feel like there should be a process that allows people to like be here legally. Cause if you come in here legally, you have no possible way to become like legal unless your kids go to the army or if something happens to you and you could sue. But other than that, there's almost no way for you to become a citizen or live here legally.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Maybe if you are rich.
Yeah, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a difficult process for you to become legally, you know?
Yeah.
And well, yeah. But I had a question for you, Christian.
Yeah.
Like you right now that you're like when you came back to America, what was your like main goal to like actually live here?
Yeah.
And come back.
Honestly, working. You know, as a Mexican, I was my entire life Mexican. It just working. You know, in the campo, in the field. You know, in the construction, Mexico, working hard. Honestly, I'm a person that always working day
Since
night.
a young age.
Yeah. That's why I can support myself, living as just me without my family. You know, because I know work. You know, I know working and my passion is working. You know, and also you know, I came to this country speaking a little bit of English, and but my goal is to be a dentist. Yeah, and so I went to the high school, and it was awesome, you know. So I learned English. I made a lot of friends, connections, and I think I don't. Yeah, they give me like 3 scholarships, like 5,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because
So you did good in high school.
yeah. So that was a
That's
good
good.
point for me. And after that, just working, you know, working, and now I'm working because I like to work, you know.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it was honestly hard, you know, because I was like, I have papers, but I don't know this
English,
I don't know English. I don't know how to prepare or how to manage my time to work as a restaurant or as construction. I don't know anything about this country now. But now that I've been living in this country almost 4 years, so I know what I have to do, you know.
Yeah, you have to do what you have to do.
And that's why I'm so proud about my parents, because they came to this country and I borrow him.
Mhm.
So it's more easy for me, because let's say I'm here illegally, it's gonna be more hard for me,
Yeah.
I can go to school because I need I don't know now, but I mean maybe, but it's gonna be more hard,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always harder
Yeah.
without like
Yeah,
having your citizenship.
that's why now I'm trying to to bring my mom with me because I'm citizen,
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can because with these policies, and stuff like that. But I wanna try to because I need my mom,
Yeah.
because uh, at that age, I go. I mean, like at this point, it's easy, but maybe 22, 23, 25, 26, it's gonna be more hard because the school is expensive,
Yeah.
and just working. Maybe I can, but I need some help,
No, yeah,
You
like
know?
I understand you because me, I'm here. I have my parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could find yourself to struggle, but
Mhm.
like I've been lucky enough to like live with my parents, to have them support me and
Mhm.
everything I want to do. But in your case, like how I'm understanding, it's difficult because your parents are not with you, right?
Mhm.
So it's like you have to support everything by yourself.
Yeah.
You have to work by yourself. You have to figure it out by yourself.
Mhm.
Which, if your parents could be here, it would benefit you a lot better. You could
Mhm.
live more comfortably.
Mhm.
And you see, that's one thing I wish could change because I feel like your parents didn't come here to do nothing wrong.
No, nothing wrong.
In fact, look, they had you, and your goal is to be a dentist. You've been
Mhm.
working and working,
Mhm.
and you're gonna be a dentist, which means you're gonna contribute to the community in one way,
Mhm.
and that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah, and
And
I was thinking as well. When I become a dentist, I wanna open a clinic
yeah,
like like free. Like you
Mhm.
can come without paying anything.
Mm.
I was thinking doing that because I know a lot of immigrants. Uh, they don't have the money to
they don't have the
the
insurance. They don't have the
and
money.
If they don't have the insurance,
Yeah.
it's gonna be more expensive.
Mhm.
2,000.
And everything's expensive
Yeah,
when
and
it comes to dental work
dental,
and all
yeah,
that. Yeah, it's super
heck
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to do that, because
Mhm.
it's I'm like that. I'm that kind of person, to
Mhm.
help other people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was thinking to do that because it's so expensive. Just immigrants, because they don't have insurance
Yeah.
or anything like that. And yeah, that's one of my goals, my
One of
goals.
your goals.
And I think I'm gonna do that, But I need some help, my mom, my dad.
You need some support.
Support,
Like
yeah,
support,
yeah.
and nothing's better than support from your family,
Yeah.
in my
And
opinion.
And also, it's not the same to have a girlfriend because the girlfriend
Yeah.
is just different, And
Yeah,
to-
yeah, obviously.
it's, but the mom, bro, it's more like, hey, wake up, here's your breakfast. Or,
Yeah, your
or-
mom is always
yeah.
gonna be different
Yeah.
until you get married, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
Maybe later.
in the future, yeah, maybe
Now
you
it's-
could
now
find
it's
some.
school, working.
Yeah, work, and work,
Yeah, working.
and that's how it is.
Yeah.
But moving on to our next point is gonna be about social and economic impacts, and right here we're gonna talk about how this whole immigration laws and process and deportations are affecting the markets, are affecting jobs, are affecting businesses all around our area. This could lead to many, construction workers getting deported. Now, who's gonna do those jobs? Who's gonna fill in the boots of those workers that are not here no more, that get deported? What happens to those businesses? What happens to the bosses? What's their next move? And you see, when it comes down to this, it's like, I'm not gonna say that everyone who works is obviously a good person, because they could work, they could be a good worker, but we don't know their life outside of work. We don't know what they're doing outside of work. We don't know what they done. Like, we don't know if they're like a criminal, right?
Yeah.
Which is true, but I feel like there's a lot of jobs out there that immigrants do because they have no choice.
Yeah.
There's no room for them to improve, or there's no other choices for them to be like, oh, I have the option to go do this instead of this, so I'm not gonna work this job. But those jobs are hiring for a reason because nobody wants to do them.
Yeah, and for the price.
Yeah, and for a wage that's like
Yeah, nothing.
crazy slow, like,
Yeah.
and nobody would do those works,
Mhm.
but immigrants will because they have no other option, they have no other choice. And in today's society, who else is gonna step up for those people that are getting deported and work that they don't want to do, right? So it's creating like a whole mess in a lot of businesses. That's like, now who are they gonna hire? Who are they gonna contract to do this job that nobody else wants to do? And that's something that needs to be talked about, needs to be discussed, needs to be looked into. And
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have one friend that they have his own business. Like he sells elotes, raspados, like ice cream,
mangonero.
mangonadas
Yeah.
and stuff like that in the street, with
El
the
elotero.
with the elotero,
Yeah.
with the carritos, and I've been helping him like just prepare the food, like, hey, can you help me out? Yeah, of course. Yeah, just like that. Okay, but I'm gonna I have to leave because I have to work, so I just help him, to prepare.
Well, you can.
Yeah. As possible I can, and I've been a lot of people they afraid to go outside because obviously they don't want to be deported.
Yeah, they don't want to
and
get seen.
and so he's when he's selling, it's slow, hecka slow because people don't go outside,
Though they don't want to get out of their house.
Yeah, because they afraid, So maybe they made before, like, I don't know, make 2,000 per day,
Oh wow.
but now they made like 400, 300. So it's hecka slow now, and yeah, I don't know I don't know why. I know why, but I mean, like, people are afraid, and that's one thing, the business are going down.
Yeah, this is like adding on to it. This is different because it's not the employee that's getting affected, but it's more like the whole business in general.
Yeah.
Because like the loteros,
Yeah.
their targeted audience is mostly Hispanics.
Yeah, Spanish.
Mostly Hispanics are the ones who buy off of them. That they pass by your neighborhood ringing their bells and everybody runs out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it used to be.
Yeah.
But now that you're saying this, it's true. Like, people are scared. They're like, oh, I'm not gonna go outside and risk it. What if I get seen, and then I get stopped and questioned, and then boom, I'm back in my home country.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like that, and honestly, it's true because I also knew someone that, like, their parent was illegal. They weren't from here, and they would tell me that they didn't want to go outside at all because they were scared. They didn't want to go to work. They didn't want to do nothing because they were scared that they're gonna get deported, which makes sense. Fear usually does that to people. If you know you're gonna lose everything, why would you risk it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
You wanna say something, Omar?
I mean, I just think it's very, very important to see that, like, Hispanics in general is a pretty big part of society.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also as well, I wanna contribute something. My friend's mom, that she lives in Minnesota. He's I born over there, so I know her.
Yeah.
And now she told me, she didn't even go outside because if she step out, like, I don't know, maybe like just a couple meters, or maybe just outside of her house, the ice is around there, so you can even
Every corner.
every corner you can even go outside because if you go outside, you're you got deport.
Wow.
Yeah, in those exactly is in San Paul.
San Paul.
San Paul.
San Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah, San Paul, Minnesota is in that place, and and they are killing people
Oh,
as
yeah?
well over there, just by nothing, just like, oh, you look like legal.
Yeah, the ICE agents are very aggressive. Very.
Yeah,
I
no.
heard. Yeah, they've been doing some crazy stuff. But also, something that has to be taken note of, like, very much, is that here in California, we could hear all these stuff. We could even see some stuff. We could see a lot of changes. We can see a lot of people scared. But one thing about California is that it's not as bad here as it is in other states, because California is a sanctuary state, which it helps immigrants a lot.
Yeah,
It's like more beneficiary for immigrants to be here. But compared to like other states in America, it's way, way crazier out there. There's a
Yeah.
lot of more violence, there's a lot of more destruction happening, and especially since the immigrants are the target, they're getting like deported instantly, fast, and we just see all this abuse, and it has to stop. It has to
Yeah.
stop, and I don't know. I feel like, well, something has to be done, like I've been saying this whole time, but let's see. Like we've been speaking about, this
Is there any other like new laws that you would disagree with, like?
Well, this is about it's like about the whole. We're talking about all the laws in general, but obviously, like, I mean, we're not agreeing with these laws at all. But we're also talking about like how it's impacting our families, our communities, everyone around us, all the changes we see. I mean, have you seen any changes?
Any changes? Like in society because of these new laws.
Yeah, and I have to say something.
Definitely. I mean, I would say people are a bit more closed off in certain public areas, because I feel like it definitely sets off a tone that we shouldn't be as trusting when we go out. And some of us actually feel a bit of fear when we go out, and it's a bit scary when you think that someone might be out there looking for you to send you to another country. That's scary for sure, walking around knowing that. But I still go to the gas station, get my coconut water, and I go to work.
Wait, are you here legally or illegally?
I'm here legally.
Legally?
Oh.
Because you're saying you're getting scared, and we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was just trying to put myself into the shoes of someone who would be like on the lookout,
Oh, because when you put it in that way, because obviously someone that's not here.
Yeah, I thought you were.
I thought you were referring to
No,
something that
Yeah.
you were scared. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
you didn't tell us
legally.
nothing. But no, definitely, if you're putting yourself into the shoes of someone, it's like how they live their day. Like they're scared to go out, right? They're scared to go to the corner store to get their coconut water, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Especially if someone is looking for you exactly to send you to your country.
Right.
So, Anyways, we can move on to our last and final point, which is talking about the legal and human rights concerns. So, as we've already touched the topic, there is faster deportations, which means there's less access to lawyers. You have less rights to fight and argue against your claim, and also there's fewer court hearings, which means that fewer judges are gonna hear out your story and hear out why you're here, which means that you can be held in jail for quite a while, because right now there's also an instance. You see, there's like a lot of people around us that have just been dealing with all these things. For example, I know a person, like a family friend, that they came here like 3 years ago. They came here with their family and they've been living here in America for 3 years. And recently, the father of this family has been held under custody because due to being here illegally.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's been held here, and it's already been 3 weeks. He's been in a jail for 3 weeks, and he hasn't been let out. But they sent out a warrant for his family, and his family decided to leave the country and go back to their country, which is Peru. And the father still has been in custody for these 3 past weeks. No hearings, no courts, no nothing, just in jail for being here illegally. And well, there's nothing he could do. What can he do? He has no access to nobody.
Mhm.
He's stuck, and his family is hoping for him to like just get deported already so they could see him. But
Wonder how he is right now.
yeah, but like that's what I mean. There's less court hearings, less chance of actually getting heard.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's your story, or like what do you want to do? They don't give you that option. So that's something that is obviously also being impactful. And
Yeah, and I don't know, but I think I've been seeing that they go to churches, schools, business, and I know some people that they just got deported because they were working, or they were not school, no, but they were working as a restaurant, and just they came here like nothing, just and they seen like Mexicans, or like Hispanic people. Oh, you're illegal.
or like in the meat markets,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard they've gone to like the
Yeah. And I've been seeing the eyes around Richmond.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they just got like, oh, you look like illegal. Let me see your papers. You have papers? Come with us.
Hmm.
And they just got in jail, and because I got one friend, they just got put over by the police like 2 months ago. So now he's in jail because he was like kind of illegal,
Yeah.
because he has green card, but the police is like, just, oh, you look illegal, come with us, and that's it. And they didn't, he hasn't nothing wrong with like with this country. He was like just working,
He's done nothing wrong.
yeah,
He's
working
yeah.
and working hard.
He came here to work.
Yeah,
Hmm.
working, and his daughters. So now her daughters are alone because her dad is in jail,
Mhm.
and it's kind of hard, I'm sad because of that, He he's a dad,
Yeah, he
and,
is.
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard, and also as well.
He's like leaving his family unattended, right?
Yeah,
With no
yeah.
funds, nothing.
He's the support of his family,
Mhm.
and he is in jail right now. So how can
How's he gonna help, right?
Yeah.
How's he gonna
the
provide for his
mom,
family?
her
Yeah.
daughters, and her daughters are like kind of old, like 14, 15, 16, and it's kind of hard, and now I'm gonna change a little bit. I don't know if you guys believe believe in God,
Mm-hmm.
and but the Bible says that we are not citizens of this earth. We are citizens on the other earth. That is the heaven. So now on this earth, um, like every country is is attached to the earth.
Mhm.
It's one earth. And now, if we are here in Mexico, United States, Brazil, Venezuela, Guatemala, whatever, we are not citizens of those countries because this earth is from God. So we don't deserve this earth. But I mean, I don't know if you guys understand me or you feel me, guys. But I mean,
No, yeah, I understand you. It's more
like,
I get it because it's like the whole world should be one.
yeah,
I feel like there shouldn't be no borders.
Yeah,
I
nothing.
feel like obviously there should be like areas. Oh yeah, this is Brazil, this is Mexico,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the United States.
yeah,
But why do we have to like complicate it and put like citizenships and
yeah,
like
yeah. We can just
say, oh, you're not from here, why are you here? Or you're not like us, why are you here? Like
yeah,
that's different. It's
Mhm.
like it's like creating borders for no reason.
for no reason,
And unfortunately, the world has always been like this. There's always been wars that separates a lot of countries from others. There's been a lot of discussions. A lot of world leaders don't necessarily like each other and make the laws that obviously us
Yeah,
we don't agree to.
Mhm.
And also something else I would have to say is like none of us are actually citizens. None of us are actually originated from where we are. Like for example, there's no such thing as an American American. I feel like the actual Americans were the Native Americans, and we all know how they just got killed and murdered by
Mhm.
like the Europeans and by
Mhm.
like Great Britain. And after that is when America started founding into like a country,
Mhm.
and that's when everything started. The Congress, the presidents, everything started after all that. But if you really see it, it's like America was not America, and the same Americans that are claiming to be American aren't really from America. Their actual roots, their actual ancestors, they come from different countries. They're
Mhm.
not actually American.
Americans, yeah.
But everybody forgets about that. Everybody puts that to the side and they just say, "Oh, now it's America. Now there's illegals. Now there's immigrants. Now there's all of this."
Mhm.
But people tend to forget the history. People tend to forget the past, which is very common. Everybody always forgets what happened in the past and just
Yeah, and I don't know why it's happening. Just we have to love each other. We have to help each other. As a people. Because anybody is like is flesh. And
everybody's equal.
yeah,
right?
everybody gets tired. Gets everybody have to work.
Deserves
so-
the same rights.
yeah,
Everybody
and,
has the same.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we are like Mexicans
Yeah.
from Guatemala.
Race shouldn't be a
Yeah.
factor into
Yeah.
discriminating someone or like judging someone just because you're Mexican and you're white and you're black and you're Asian. It doesn't matter. I feel like people should be united as one. There shouldn't be no like barrier between us.
And I think we can progress more
Mhm.
if all of us is just like you say one.
One, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be more easy. But everybody wants to be like everyone wants to have his own country or her own country. But I mean, now this is the world. So we have to
This is what we're dealing with. This
Yeah.
is the reality of
Yeah.
things, and as unfortunate as it is, but we have to deal with it. And hopefully, as a community as a whole, we can all move on from this because it has to stop. Like you were saying, like there shouldn't be no discriminations between people. I feel like the government is enforcing this agenda into all of us and saying that we're all criminals, we should all be deported, we all need to go back to our country. But it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And if anyone as a community can like change this, we could do it. We could all agree into changing this.
As you say, we came just to work and
Yeah.
work, help another, have kids, have our own home, and just working because we here we came to this country to just working.
And them saying that we're criminals, that we're doing illegal stuff here, it's like pointless in a way because there's not only Hispanic criminals, there's also white criminals, there's also black criminals. Every race has a criminal. Every country has their own criminals. There's always going to be criminals. Not just because an Hispanic is doing a crime or something illegal means that all the Hispanics are the same. Why don't they say, oh, this Hispanic is a good worker? All of them are good workers. They don't say that. They just look at the wrong. They just see what's the bad things happening and they implement that into a whole genre and say, oh, all of them are the same. And that's not true. But
so basically the narrative I feel like should change for what a Mexican for what a Mexican is or for what a Hispanic is in the US. Definitely do think it is unfair to put a whole race or a whole culture, sort of marginalize it in any way, and I just think the deportation shouldn't really be a thing.
Shouldn't be the last resort. It shouldn't be like something. It shouldn't be an option, right? It shouldn't be something that happens how it does. I feel like there should be more steps into it. Like I've said, there should be more background checks, maybe like to see why this person is actually getting deported, not just because they're not from here. There should be more factors playing into that. Say like there's a higher reason just than you being from a different country. There should be something like, oh, you've done these crimes, there's a list, here's the proof, here's everything, what you've done, you've been here for this long and you've done all this. You can't be here no more, and that should be the reason why you get deported. Not because you're just not from here. I feel like that's something, it's not fair, right? And you guys can agree with that. It's not right, it's not fair, and yeah. But closing things off, I feel like this is our claim, this is our argument, and that all these laws are not beneficiary for none of us in any way, sense, or form. I feel like the business getting impacted, a lot of people, especially immigrants, are getting impacted. People are living in fear from their day-to-day life. And not only us immigrants are getting impacted, but also the people around us, the people that depend on the immigrants' jobs. All of us are getting impacted negatively. It's not good for anyone. It just makes the whole United States a whole scandal and it kind of also looks like a weakness in our whole country, not only our community. And there's something has to be done, and hopefully America could change. But yes, that's gonna be all. Thank you everyone for joining us in our podcast today. And yes, it was Christian, Omar, and me, Caleb, and see you guys next time.
College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000.